First up in the world of video games and actually crossing over into other entertainment is South Park: The Stick of Truth. This game was a gigantic surprise, I think. In hindsight, yeah, Matt and Trey were deeply involved. They wrote the scripts. Of course it's going to be funny, but man, it could have turned out not nearly as good as it did.
Yeah, and it almost did. It was one of the games that was pulled from the Wreckage of THQ. Like this and Evolve are really the two games that, Ubisoft, after THQ went under, Ubisoft sort of picked up the ball and helped fund the sort of the last bit of it. And yeah, it got delayed a bunch, and people were like, is this going to be a good RPG? Like, everyone knew it was going to be funny, but no one was sure if it would be a good game. And when it turned out it was, that was like the most surprising thing of the year.
Yeah, it's like, in a lot of ways, it's my favorite season of South Park.
Yeah.
Because it's the one that you can play, and it works both as sort of a greatest hits mixtape of all the cool stuff they've done in the show, but also this amazing standalone game that services me as a old man that doesn't have time for a 100-hour RPG, but wants that experience boiled down to like 12 hours, 15 hours. Some of the boss fights are just, you fight, I don't even know if I can say.
You can say.
Can I say?
Yeah.
You fight an aborted Kardashian fetus.
It sounds like South Park.
I don't know how many of those words have to get censored, but that's in there, and it's like all the voice acting's right. It's right on target.
We'll just censor Kardashian. The rest is
yeah, it'll just be a lot of beeps. Just put a bunch of things over my mouth.
There's so many. We could do a history of bad video games based on TV shows and movies.
Yep.
And so, having Matt and Trey involved was obviously crucial. And they're so, I love them, I'm big fans of them. They're also prickly guys, and they are very specific guys. But that's great, because you know that they wanted to make sure this game was good and lived up to what the fans wanted, and thankfully it very much did.
Well, and there's a history, and they talked about this in interviews a little bit, a history of just very bad South Park games.
Oh, the first-person shooter for N64.
Kind of notoriously. And so they said, no, look, we're going to be deeply involved. We're going to get Obsidian involved. They done Fallout New Vegas, would go on to do Pillars of Eternity, a really, really top-tier developer. And this crazy connection of, TV talent and video game talent making just an awesome video game.
It was really, I think the thing I liked most about its RPG sensibilities are I appreciate 100-hour Witcher or Fallout. I just don't have the time to do that.
Sure.
And so it was the brevity, along with the fact that it played a lot like a 16-bit RPG.
Yeah.
Played like Mario RPG, and I loved that.
I liked that, I don't know how many seasons South Park's been on. Many.
It's around 18?
Yeah.
So, but even though it's been on that
18.
many years, they never actually mapped out South Park.
Yeah.
Like, where specifically does Kyle live in relation to Cartman? And being able to run around the town. And they had to do it. Like, Matt and Trey had to sit down and plan it out. Like, here's where the shitty walk is.
Yeah.
And here's where all the kids' houses are. And, I almost like that more than any of the individual jokes. Like, that just attention to detail of the town.
It was really cool to get to experience that for the first time. To kind of just be like, what is this town we've been watching for 18 seasons? What does it look like all laid out? I think that in terms of nailing the source material, and obviously you're working with something that's aesthetically pretty simple compared to something else, but I don't think there's a video game that's done that better. I had times where people would walk in and see me playing that game and they'd be like, it looks like you're watching the show.
Yeah.
And you couldn't actually tell you were controlling
It
something.
looks just like an episode of the show.
Yeah.